Welcome back to LETV. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button to make sure you don't miss out on any upcoming content. Let's do this. Hey guys, so I'm back and I'm in North Devon, just on the outskirts of Barnstable, and I'm here with professional juggler and escapologist Merlin Cadogan.
Hi guys.
Hey, thanks for coming on.
It's my pleasure, Peter. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, well, I was out with my daughter. I'm here on holiday, and luckily brought the podcast equipment with me, and we were out for the day. And Merlin was doing basically a show at a place we were out at, and I just took it upon myself to approach you and say, let's get you on the podcast. So
here we are.
So chuffed you came on.
Thanks for having me on the podcast, man. I checked out the podcast actually, and I liked a lot of the artists you had on there, some of their tunes and stuff as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah, cool.
So thanks for getting me on.
And also my daughter's telling me, he was on Britain's Got Talent. She was the scout for this one.
She did well. She's on it.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I'll just crack on then with the interview. And it's in 3 parts. So the first part's pretty much based on you and where you're from, where you were born, and what you were like as a kid.
Right.
And just sort of into your teens, the sort of person you were, so people get an idea of you. So yeah, where were you born?
I was born in Barnstable, not far from here, in the Barnstable Hospital. And then I lived in Devon for a while. My parents split up when I was like 4. So I moved up to Bristol and lived in Bristol till I was 18, and I moved back down here then when I was about 20.
Cool.
I went to college in Bristol, and when I finished college I went travelling, and I just a little bit of travelling around, and I was working in a nightclub in Bristol, and one of my mates who I worked with from Ireland, and he said he was finishing work, did I want to go back to Ireland to do a bit of travelling with him? So the last thing I put in my rucksack was some juggling balls, went to Ireland and travelled around a little bit, ran out of money and was doing some security at this hostel in Galway, and I saw a guy juggling on the street getting some cash, and I thought I can juggle better than that. So I got my juggling balls out and juggled along as well, and we became friends. And I used to pass the hat around for him in the show and help him get all the money, and he would teach me tricks in the evening.
Cool.
And then I decided I wanted to be a professional juggler.
And that must have been quite young, fairly young that was.
Yeah, I think I was about 18 or 19 then.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
So you knew how to juggle, but you were was you starting to learn things from your friend.
That's it. Yeah.
Who's your friend? You want to shout your friend?
He's called Hamid the Tumbler.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen him, man, for 30 years now.
Yeah.
So I mean, God, he might be quite old now. I don't know how old he'd be.
You give him the credit for teaching you a lot.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, it was all thanks to him, really. Like, I mean, I could juggle the 3 balls, but I didn't have any idea about doing a show or anything like that.
Yeah.
And we went to the comedy club there. There was a guy called Steve Rawlings, who's a really great juggler, and he was doing a show in the comedy club. We watched that guy, and I was like, that's what I want to do.
Cool.
And and I've met Steve Rawlings a few times and bought some props off him. And I ended up going to Butlins and juggling there at Bognor Regis.
Cool.
Comparing the outside stage and doing shows there. And then I did 2 cruise ships from Miami for 6 months. And then came back to Butlins again. Then I did a Butlins tour of all of the parks. And then I ended up getting my own little cabaret show together and getting it booked out by quite a lot of agents in different places at holiday parks and hotels and stuff.
Yeah, lots of travelling then.
Always travelling, man. Yeah. Which is why I got into juggling, because I like the travelling anyway.
So cool. Yeah. You been to Scotland much?
I have. I've done.
Things in the festival, maybe, or
no, I've not done that. I really want to do that. I've been to a juggling convention up there in Edinburgh, and I've opened quite a lot of B&Q stores.
Right.
I used to go along and used to decorate the store, have a couple of promotion girls come in and do some promotions, and a face painter, and I'd be doing like some sort of meet and greet and juggling for the people as they came in. Kilmarnock and a couple of different places all over.
Nice
all over
one.
the country, all over Scotland and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was really good.
You'd fit right in at the Fringe Festival as
well. I'd love to go there. I'd love to go to that. Yeah.
Since we were kids, you had the big acts, and you also had the street performers.
Yeah.
And when we were kids, you could just walk around the streets watching the street performers.
Yeah.
Some of it was amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So maybe like, so what? how long, so you were born in Barnstaple, how long did you live in sort of Barnstaple for until you sort of moved away?
About 4 years. I moved away then until I was about 18, 20, can't remember, 18 or 19, something like that. I moved back down then. And then I went off and did like Butlins and did like some cruise ships and stuff like that. You just travelled
a lot. Yeah, so you weren't really based anywhere for a while.
No, I lived in Mallorca, lived in Gran Canaria for a couple of years. Different places, like doing shows, you know. And then ended up moving back to Bristol with my ex-wife and lived there for a while, and then moved back down to Devon and got a place down here. About properly like then when I bought my place was probably about 14 years ago, something like that. Because my daughter's 17 now, so I think she was about 3 or 4 when I moved back down.
Cool. Yeah, I love Devon.
Yeah, it's nice, man. Yeah,
been coming here for since I was about 3 years old or something.
Yeah.
So been a long time.
Yeah, it's good down here.
I know exactly where I'm going to say to my wife. It's like a second home to me.
Right.
And, whenever I'm out and about, people like think I don't know where I am, and they tell me the best place to go, and I'm like, no, you get a better pass there. This one.
You know the spots.
Yeah. Oh, how did you know that? No, you can't go karting anymore. It's shut.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah, you're a local.
That's it. I'm a local Barnstaple person with a Scottish accent. Yeah, perfect. So what, were you always interested in sort of magic and tricks and things like that from a young age? Or?
Yeah, I remember I read this book when I was ill from school, right? Well, I was in school. My mate lent me this book, which was called Juggling for the Complete Klutz. And then I was ill the next day at home, and I read this book, and it was teaching you how to juggle with 3 balls. And I didn't even have any juggling balls. I just had some socks, some rolled up socks. So I learnt with these rolled up socks, and like I could sort of like get it a little bit, but I wasn't like, I couldn't juggle straight away, but I kind of like got what I needed to do. And then
what age was that, sort of?
I was in secondary school. I think I might have been like 12 or something,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and I just sort of got into it a little bit. And then I think I showed my mum, and then she got me some juggling balls for my birthday or something like that, and I could do it a bit. And but I always was a bit of intrigued with that, you know, and a bit intrigued with Harry Houdini and his escapology and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was sort of just one of those things I just sort of managed to sort of get into that sort of side of a thing. You know, I could have got into anything, but I got into that, and just how the people you mix with or whatever, that's where I ended up. So it's all good.
So you never actually went to train as anything else in
no,
any
not
other
really.
work?
No, I mean, because when I was in Ireland, I was doing a year out from when I finished my I did a BTEC business course, and I was going to do a degree, but I took a year out. Then when I was on my year out, I just really got into juggling. And what I liked about juggling was when you learn to do something, it opens up like a sort of a doorway onto the next thing, and when you can do that, it opens up, so it's like a constantly moving horizon, you know. And you can do something, but you can't do that, and then when you can do that, you think, oh, I can do it now. Why couldn't I do it before? It seemed really difficult, but now I know it. And so I decided I'd cancel my degree of doing business studies and do sports science, because I was really interested in how you sort of learnt to do stuff, you know, like how your body sort of learns. So I
look like you keep in shape. You
thanks,
a lot
man.
Of training in the past.
I do a lot of training. I've been slack really in the last sort of year. I've been terrible, but normally I train quite good. But so I cancelled my business studies degree to do a sports science degree.
Ah, cool.
But then nowhere accepted me.
All right.
So I was like, oh man, and then I'd lost my firm offer I had to cancel my firm offer doing business studies. So when that happened, I thought, do you know what? Actually, I don't even really need to do the degree in it. I'm just going to keep on learning like physical skills like juggling and stuff like that. That's what I'm into, you know. But I really thought it'd be good, but I ended up teaching it now. I've taught quite a lot of schools, and a lot of people who like do circus performances who have got some skills, who want to produce an act, they come and see me and I help them produce acts.
Cool.
Like you do with your music a little bit. And I really enjoy like watching people that I know, and like they do something and they go, what do you reckon about this? And I'll be like, okay, like, how about this? And they're like, yeah. And then when they like go away and come back, and then they end up with this thing, and they're like buzzing, they're like got this an idea which they had, which was totally their idea, and they've like, with a bit of guidance, they got it through and produced it, and at the end they're like, man, this is awesome, like, thanks very much. So I'm like, mate, I didn't do anything at all, literally, you did it all, I just gave you a little bit of a nudge here and there, you know, and I love that about it.
Some people will learn easier than others too, you'll find with students, and some of them will just pick it up. That'll make you happy, how quick somebody's learned something.
Oh man, I was teaching, there's a school Lampard School around here. It's like a school for people with learning difficulties who need a little bit of extra help with stuff. And I was teaching there, did a term teaching there, and there was one of the girls was autistic, and they said, like, you don't expect too much from her. Sometimes they could give her an instruction, and she'd stop and have to think for like quite a few minutes before she'd carry it out.
Yeah.
Take your books out of your bag, and she'd be there, like, you know. So anyway, by the end of this term, this girl, I could see straight away she was like into the juggling. I gave her some juggling balls after the first class, and take those home, bring them back next week. She'd come and she could juggle.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, right. So I said, right, we're going to pass 6 today. And I saw the teachers sort of go, oh no, it's not going to happen. And I was like, right, we do it like this. And I explained to her, and she was doing it in real time. I was like, throw, 1, 2, 3, throw, and she could do it. And they're like, what? She's doing it real time.
Yeah.
And I'd be like teaching her how to fit different tricks into the pattern, because it's sort of like a bit like music where there's like a rhythm.
That's like what they say with autism, though, that
with the music.
They've got they pay attention to something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of different spectrums
Yeah,
of autism,
yeah.
but certain autistic people can pick something up.
She
They,
was
like,
bang
put all
on,
their
man.
concentration into it.
She just could do it, and
Yeah.
they were like, "What?" And they were all coming around videoing her, going, "We can't believe this! Like, we've literally never seen anything like this."
Yeah.
We were passing 6 back and forward in different patterns.
That's amazing.
They were like, "Whoa, this is great! Like, her parents will not believe it." And I said to them, "I said, you tell her parents that she's got a real ability there. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've taught thousands of people to juggle, but that girl there, man, she had it. You know, and so it was really good to see. Like, you know."
It's
So-
amazing that they sort of started off that don't expect too much.
That's what it
And
was,
you're
yeah.
like, you what?
And by the end of it, she was like better than everyone there. And they were
Yeah.
like, wow, that girl like literally was just doing like 1 hour a week for like 6 weeks or whatever. And by the end of it, this girl was like banging out 6 in different patterns and changing patterns mid-flow
Yeah, yeah.
and catching them all and stopping. And they were like,
Someone like that's probably got the ability to like overtake your skill.
oh, for sure, because
Yeah,
she's
if-
only
if,
young.
If you put all her
Yeah,
attention to
definitely,
it for a
man, yeah.
long period of time.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I see loads of kids like I was chatting to, it was like a bit, you know, like they sort of like a collective consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
My mate does a bird show. We were chatting yesterday, and if you get a stick and you bring it up like this, right, all the rooks will just go. Like they know that that's a gun, even if they've never seen a gun.
Yeah.
It's just inherently known for all the rooks, Society of Rooks. If you pick up something like that, they're like, oh, it's got a gun, go, even if they've never come across a gun.
Yeah.
And I was talking about the collective consciousness of when you do a show, the audience have got like a group consciousness, you know? And it's like that with juggling as well. When I was learning to juggle, not many people could juggle 5 balls. It was a real thing if you could juggle 5 balls.
Yeah.
Probably like maybe 100 in the whole country or whatever. And like I was studying it and learning and practicing, and I got to do it. And then literally nowadays, I mean, it's hard to juggle 5 balls. It's a lot harder than 4. It's like multiple times harder. But because other people have seen other people do it, they think, oh, I could probably do that. And, you know, now there's probably like, I don't know, like 5,000 people that can juggle 5 balls in the country. Whereas when I was learning, there was like 50 or 100, you know? And then the group consciousness, after a little while, it gets out far enough, and it's like everyone can then do it, you know? It just becomes a normal sort of thing.
Amazing.
Yes.
Were you juggling 5 the other day when we were there?
In the show, yeah.
You were?
Yeah.
No, see, if I knew, I'd have paid more attention. But he's juggling 5 balls.
I used to juggle 7
Yeah.
when I was into it, but when you do numbers, you just basically keep them in the air. It limits the number of different patterns you can do. So, yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I always used to practice all the skill stuff. And when you're producing a show, it's good if you've got skill stuff. But for the most people, they don't really care if you're doing 5, 6, 7. It's not really, it's got to be entertaining, you know, unless it's a show for jugglers, and then they'll notice all the little intricate differences. But, you know, for the most people, they just want to see someone juggle something.
Yeah,
on
professionals,
fire or,
it's like anything.
Yeah.
Other professionals will be watching
yeah,
techniques.
that's it.
And,
They see those things, but most people, they just, if it hits you on the head, then it's funny. They like it.
Yeah, I remember even being a kid learning with the 2 balls, throwing one and throwing the other one before you catch the other one.
2 in one
then
hand.
you can keep
thing,
2 going.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much the basis of learning to juggle with the 3rd, because you're doing that with,
right,
aren't you?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
You do with 3 balls, they cross from hand to hand. And then with 4 balls, it'd be 2 in each hand.
Yeah,
5 balls is crossing again. 6 balls is 3 in each hand. 7's crossing. 8's 4 in each hand.
Cool.
So that's how you.
Yeah, crazy.
How it goes,
So what's the most you've juggled? You think about 7?
I think I've done 8. Like to count as a juggle, you have to do 2 circuits. So if you do 6 throws with 3 balls, you've juggled. 10 throws with 5 balls. I think I might have done like 8 balls in synchronous like maybe once or twice.
I'll just go and get the apples.
Yeah, let's go.
eight apples, did you say?
Oh, yeah. Your aunt will love it in her drawing room. Yeah. Smash.
I know way. Oh. Perfect. Well, we've only got another little 5 minutes or so on this part, so it was mostly based on you, where you were born and from.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much you've been down this part of the country. Well, born in this part of the country and based here mostly, apart from all your traveling.
Bristol and then traveling. Yeah.
Yeah. And pretty much covered like what you were kind of like as a kid, your interests, and that you were interested in what you do.
Yeah, I was always like into skateboarding. I still skateboard now. Juggling.
You still do a bit of skateboarding
now?
now?
I do. I was working down in Penzance in January. They've got a good little skate park down there, and I was
nice,
session
cool.
in this little park. Yeah,
I've got a mate still skateboarding as well, and he's back at home. He's called Nasty P. He's a DJ, but he's also a skateboarder. Skateboards for a team back in Scotland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I can still do the old kick flips and stuff like that.
Cool.
I've skated like some mini halves and little ramps and stuff. I'm not like great, but I can drop in and ride the ramp and kick out of it.
And you've been skating since you were a kid?
Yeah, man. I've got into it and got out of it, but I've never stopped skating. I've always sort of had my board and been able to skate. Taught my boy to skate. He's quite good at skating.
Obviously,
now.
you surf as well.
Yeah, I surf quite a lot now. But this last couple of years, when the pandemic started, where I live, I can cycle to the beach. So I'd stick my wetsuit on and cycle down the beach, surf for 3 hours and come home, and that was great, man. So I got into it then more. But if I used to teach surfing for a living, I've surfed all over the world.
Cool.
Yeah, I've written a book of little surf stories and stuff I wrote when I was travelling and that. So surfing's one of my main things I really love. But as you get older, like, you know, and you get all your kids and you got all the commitments with work and stuff, you find less and less time to do the things you really want to do. So the pandemic was good for me in that respect. I got back into my surfing, but this last year, since it's kind of calmed down a bit, I've been back trying to clear all my debts I built up. So I haven't had so much chance to surf. But
well, it's like with my music, I'm quieting down with my music a bit, and I've started this up.
This is great, man.
Now
Your
my daughter's 9,
great.
my son's 2, and I feel like he's not like as needy a baby as he used to be now.
Right,
so
now he's 2.
I felt like I want to do something new. So started up the podcast.
Will you get back on the music again, will you now?
Well, I never stopped the music, but still mess about, and if somebody wants me to send them a beat, I'll send them a beat. Or I've got a couple of good mates that still record, so if they need to use my mic and setup, then I don't mind having a little recording session and stuff.
Great, man.
So I had it packed away for a couple of years, but as soon as I could again, I got it all back out and set up, and then I was like, my stuff's set back up, you can come back back to my house now.
Open for business, boys.
The doors are open. So now I've got my cool workshop in the garden and everything, so I know what it's like to enjoy what you do, but life also gets in the way. You can't spend all your time anymore doing it.
No, we're lucky that we enjoy what we do, though, aren't we, man?
Yeah,
totally. If you're doing a job you enjoy, you feel like you're never really working anyway. So
it's all good. Yeah. Well, I'm a sign maker as well. I went to college when I did that. So I did that. Went to college when I was young. Left school and became a sign maker, and then eventually I always wanted to go self-employed. Yeah. I just didn't like the working every day. For a company, getting up in the morning, going home late at night every day, and I always thought I want to do this myself. If I'm going to work all day, I'd be happier just working on my own. At
least you know you're getting the benefit of the hard work. I'm kind of like that. I like to work and do a good job, and so I sort of figured quite early on, like, I'm working my ass off for these people, and I'm not really. They kind of might notice what I've done, but it doesn't really make much difference. Whereas if you're doing it for yourself, you get the benefit of it also. I always try and do a good job, and you know, if there's bits that need sorting out, I'll stick along and sort it out. And you
feel a bit more proud of your work.
You get some sort of sense of achievement
when people are happy. Well, perfect. I don't think we need to go too further with this part. Iron Brew. We're drinking Iron Brew
Love
too.
The Iron Brew.
Come to Devon. I actually bought the Iron Brew in Devon, so it's not like.
Is it the same as when you get it at home?
It tastes slightly different. It must be the fridge or something.
That's like that with Guinness, isn't it? When I was in Ireland, I used to love my Guinness, and then when you get back, it goes, "Oh, it doesn't taste the same down here."
I know. Yeah, it's probably just exactly the same. Well, perfect. So I normally play music in between the parts.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Merlin haven't really chatted about how I set this up, so we're just going for it.
Yeah.
But I normally play music in between the parts, so I'm going to play a track just now from an unsigned band. I'll ask Merlin if he has a friend that has a band he'd like to push, or if not, you can think about it afterwards. Cool. If you know anybody in bands that have any music.
I've got my stepdad plays in a band, and they write some tunes. They're called the Clashnikovs.
Ah, cool.
And, they're really great, man. They've just started gigging. He's a retired train driver.
Ah, nice.
And
does he have music available?
Yeah, there's music, man. Yeah.
Ah, cool.
And the thing is, the guys that he plays with, they are all like properly good musicians, like session musicians, and they're great, man. So this band, like, they're all older sort of guys, like sort of 50 plus. But the music, man, the skill they all bring is awesome, and they have literally gelled together really well. Nice. They do like Clash tribute stuff. And they write their own songs. I've written a song for them as well. And they are banging, man. Nice. They're a punk sort of band. And they're getting a massive following.
Yeah, because I want different types of music on the channel too.
Right,
so,
yeah.
Well, I'm not going to be editing this. I'm in Devon just now. I'm not going to be editing this till I'm back in Edinburgh. Right, and I've got your number. So if you think you can hook me up with the tunes,
no doubt,
or point me in the direction to download them.
I'll get them. I'll send you a link,
So it looks like we're going to have a break just now, hopefully, with a track from Merlin's...
the Clashnikovs.
Yeah, the Clashnikovs.
Yeah.
Perfect. We'll catch you in a little minute.
Nice.
How come you do the things that you do? You're always acting like the fool. You're never playing by the rules. How can you be so cruel? How come you don't know? No one likes you, nobody likes you. How come you don't know? No one likes you, no one likes you. You can never take one on the chin, 'cause you're playing a game you can't win. You're telling lies, spreading rumours, but you forgot I'm a sore loser. How come you don't know? No one likes you, nobody likes you. How come you don't know? No one likes you, nobody likes you. You're ignorant, you're arrogant, you're such a fool, don't you know you ain't cool? Wanted here no more. No one loves you, nobody loves you. When you leave, you better shut the door. No one loves you, nobody loves you. You're telling lies, you're spreading rumours. No one loves you, nobody loves you. And you forgot I'm a sore loser. No one loves you, nobody loves you. How come you don't know? No one likes you, nobody likes you. How come you don't know? No one likes you, nobody likes you. I don't like you, my mum don't like you, my girlfriend don't like you, even my cat don't like you. No one likes you, nobody likes you. Everybody hates you, nobody likes you.
Right, guys, that's us back. Hope you enjoyed that track from the Clashnikovs. And that, if you're searching for that, it's with a C, not a K. And we're going to get straight onto the second part of the interview, which is, I mean, we covered a little bit. We were chatting a bit about that already. It's hard to stick to the parts when you're chatting.
Yeah.
But kind of like what events in your life led you in the direction of what you do for your work, why you do it, and how sort of important it is to you. Is it difficult?
Yeah, I mean, well, I like juggling and I love teaching people and helping them to progress. And I've juggled all over the world. I did Tim Burton's kids party. I was in Costa Rica on a surf trip, and this woman come up to me on the beach and said, "Are you juggling?" And I was like, "Yeah." She said, "Can you do my kids party?" So I was like, "Yeah, no worries." So then me and this big wave surfer called Ronald Ray Goda, who I was hanging out with, surfing with, we went off and we got all these balloons and filled them with sand to make juggling balls. And I ended up doing this like 45-minute show for this family that had booked this hotel on the beach at Playa Negra. And did this 45-minute show with all these made-up props and a bit of teaching, and then they came over and they said, "Man, we loved your show. It was brilliant." And they said, "Do you know who this is?" I said, "I don't have a clue." This is Tim Burton. He did like Edward Scissorhands and all that. And I was like, "No way!" And they said, "Yeah, you can give any quote you like. We thought you were really brilliant." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." So that was really cool. Like,
that was amazing. So you actually performed in front of him.
Yeah, for his whole family in this hotel of guests that they'd booked.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And and they said we'll give you some money, and I was like, great. And they gave me some money. And I think I said like $20 or whatever, and they gave me like $50, and a couple of crates of beers. So I gave this guy Ronald Ray Goda a crate of beer because he was like, he was like a world-class surfer. He surfs only he won this Pico Alto big wave competition in Peru. Where they go out when it's only like 30 foot plus. It's crazy, man. And his picture was on all the credit cards in the country and everything. He was like a proper hero. And we were hanging out, and I said, "Hey man, this is for you for driving me around to get all the stuff." He's like, cheers. So I put me in good stead with all of the guys there. And
that's crazy. The surfing. I was working with a guy just about a month ago, and he was from Cape Town, South Africa, and getting to know him, got on really well with him, and he was actually surfed his whole life. He was 52. How old are you?
49.
49. Hi, similar age. 52, surfed his whole life and travelled the world surfing and stuff. And what was so cool was like, if you're a total surfer, you've travelled the world, you know Croyd Bay in Devon, don't you? And he's like, "Yeah, Croyd Bay." Well, I could do a better South African accent, but Croyd. Oh yeah, I've surfed there, and then he was naming points in Devon that I didn't even know.
Right.
And I was like, he was like, "I've surfed in California. I've surfed." I was like, "Oh wow, that's amazing."
We have got some good breaks around here in Devon and Cornwall, like proper world breaks
famous
on their day. All the good surfers that I know, like they've surfed all around the world, and you say, "Where's your favourite spot?" And they'll all have a favourite spot. Okay, what's your favourite spot around here? And it'll be like Croyd, or there's a couple of secret spots, and they're all like, even the really great surfers, but that place is awesome,
They've got names, little names for the areas, like it's nicknames, isn't it? I'm not sure. He said a name to something, and it was like Bagger's Point or something.
Baggy Point,
is it?
Baggy Point,
Oh, right, there you go. I think that's what he said to me, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know. Is that a nickname? Or is that...
It's called Baggy Point on the map, actually.
Is it? Cool. Yeah. I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I know Croyd, though."
Yeah, that's the area, Croyd. You got Baggy Point, you got little areas inside that area, sort of thing. Cool. Yeah, it's a good spot where North Devon, and that's good. But there's great waves up in Scotland as well.
Yeah. And on the
colder in Scotland, I think.
On the skateboarding, have you heard about Livingston Skate Park?
I've heard the name, yeah.
Livingston.
I've never been there or anything like that. Yeah, I've heard the name.
It's a bit like Croyd with the surfing, I suppose. Right. It's like world famous skaters from all around the world. I'm not massive on skating. A lot of my mates are though.
Yeah.
And like world famous skaters came from America to skate there. They had big like tournament championship things, and hundreds of people around it.
Cool, man.
And it's in a little small I don't know what Livingston's classed as, like a industrial, I'm not sure. It's not, it was a small place, and it's grown bigger and bigger and bigger, but it's quite a quiet sort of place, Livingston, so it's strange that everybody from the world all flocked to Livingston to go to the skate park.
Nice.
And you can find a YouTube video on the guy that designed it, and quite interesting when he designed it all and created this world quality skate park in a little place called Livingston in Scotland.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and apparently they had great hip hop parties, but it was before my time.
Was it?
Yeah. So
nice,
I'm 40, so that must have been years ago.
Yeah, back in the 70s, I guess. Then.
Must have been, I was born 82, so they could have been in the 80s.
Right,
it would have been more the 90s when.
Yeah.
I would have been too young jumping about with a beer in my hand. It sounded great. I think they had acts on and skateboarders. Sounded amazing.
Nice. Yeah, when I used to live in Bristol, there's some great skate parks there, and we had some pro skaters come over and do like exhibitions and stuff. But there was a guy in Bristol called Specs. He's like Dave, and he's just a local like sort of like tradesman basically, but he was the best skater. And you'd get all these pros flying over who thinking they're like the best, and he would always wipe the floor with them.
Yeah.
He was so sweet because he just used to like rock up, and he'd be there and everyone would know him, and they'd be like checking him out, and he done like nothing, you know, and then they'd all do their thing, and then he'd literally just like air twice as high, pop an ollie over a car out of the bowl, and then
right,
like,
yeah.
who is that kid?
Yeah, totally. Like,
and we get that specs, mate, and it makes you look rubbish, and they're like, oh man. But I bumped into him down in Perranporth 20 years ago, surfing down there, and had a little chat with him. I was like, you're that guy, man, from the skate park in Bristol. He goes, yeah, that's right. I go, bro, you used to rip it in that skate park. I remember watching him. Natus came over from America to skate, and like, yeah, you know, like Spexus was like way better.
Amazing, eh?
Yeah, he's a local hero, man. And he got offered to go pro, and he was like, nah, I don't want to be a pro skater. I just do my thing. And I was like, full respect to that guy. Yeah, brilliant.
There's a little skate park near where I live. It's just for the kids, really. It's got a decent little bowl on it and stuff. And I was taking my daughter to the park, and she likes to go on the skate, but all the skaters were there with their boards.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
was like, right, okay. She's like, but I want to go on, Dad. And I'm like, well, I'll go with you then.
Yeah.
It'll be all right if I'm with you. And so she's scooting around on her scooter while the skaters are trying to skate.
Yeah.
And then I start chatting to the skaters, and they're playing hip hop music, and they were kind of like showing off a bit like cool skaters. And so I had to get a video out of my mate Nasty P that skates for the skateboard team.
Oh yeah, he's really good.
My mate skates. Oh, does he? What's his name? Blah blah. And I got a video up, and it was like, yeah, gave them my phone, and they were all huddled round going, oh wow, he's really good, eh? It's like, right, I had to earn my points. But yeah, can't skate myself. I had a mate gave me a skateboard, and it wasn't working. I was trying, and I thought, no, I'm not going to pick this up.
No, when you get to a certain point, you just like, do you know what? People go, oh, let's have a go, and I like, go crack on, and they like fall off. There's this guy down the skate park in Appledore not long ago, and this big guy, you know. He goes, can I have a go on your skateboard? I was like, mate, you're welcome to. Are you any good? He goes, yeah, I'm all right. And he was brilliant, right? And I go, bro, you're really good. He goes, I don't know if I should drop in or not on this mini half pipe. I was like, man, you are like, you could, you know, why wouldn't you? And he goes, I haven't dropped in for a while. I was like, mate, you're killing it, you know. So he goes, I'll drop in. He got on top of this half pipe, lined it up, dropped in. Obviously didn't lean forward enough. Board goes down, flies out the top of this half pipe about 20 or 30 foot high, and there's all these BMWs all parked around. I was thinking, oh, it's going to come down. Just luckily it missed everyone. But this guy, bam, just slammed in. Got up, he goes, oh, I don't think I'll do that again. I was like, my kids were like, ooh, that's got to hurt, Dad. And literally, bam, slammed in. So he was like,
I bet you felt bad because you were like, go for it,
yeah,
man.
I did feel a bit bad, you know, but he was great. He was popping ollies everywhere, and he was a really good skater, but I think he's had a few drinks as well. But
right.
yeah, and when he did that, the noise, I remember he got up, he was like, whoa.
I'm not trying that again. Yeah. Cool. So we kind of covered sort of events that your mate you met, the Irish mate, was it? No.
Oh, when I went to Ireland?
Yeah, and he taught
right,
you a lot about your juggling and stuff.
Yeah, well, he just said, come over, and the last thing, Hamid, the tumbler, he taught me how to do shows and get shows all
was
going.
Was he Irish? Was that
no,
right? No, was that wrong?
Morocco, I think.
Oh,
he was
right.
from Morocco, but it was in Ireland. But
it was in
Morocco,
Ireland, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was the tumbler, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And just sort of like, you've kind of spoke about why you do what you do too, because you get sort of, like myself and lots of people are kind of bored with the monotonous life, and you like to do more interesting things with your life.
I love it. Like I love teaching kids and helping them get better at stuff. I love doing shows and like performing and doing different stuff. So I'm just really happy doing what I do. It doesn't really feel like work when you're doing something you love.
Yeah,
you know? So I'm happy doing all my circus skills. I do a lot of comparing for shows, and I was comparing a music venue and a comedy and cabaret stage recently, and I did some stage managing at Glastonbury this year, and I did a couple of shows and taught there as well. I normally go to Glastonbury every year and end up sort of performing or stage managing stuff there, and I really enjoy it. And it's great because you've got like a sort of every year you bump into all the people from the circus world who disappear to all parts of the world and all come back for Glastonbury.
Ah, cool, yeah.
Nice to see old friends that you haven't seen for like a few years and
Just
catch up.
Watched a programme about the Glastonbury that Ed Sheeran
Oh, right. That was
headlined.
a few years ago, that one, I think. Was
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Was that the last one?
Were you
before the
about at that
pandemic?
one?
Yeah, I've been to pretty most of them, I'd say, yeah.
Well, the programme I was just watching last night, it's weird you said that,
Right.
was that a lot of the original Glastonbury like fans and diehard people
Yeah.
didn't like the fact that Ed Sheeran was headlining
Ah,
because
yeah.
he was too commercial.
I mean, to be honest, this Glastonbury we've just been to, I didn't see one thing apart from the Sugar Babes.
Yeah.
Because they were performing
Had to make sure and see.
quite close to where I was stationed in this cabaret in Circus Field, in the theatre in Circus Field. They were nearby. I didn't go and see any music acts, any bands. I didn't see anything. I saw quite a lot of circus performers that I know that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
But I've gone to Glastonbury for so many years.
It's just so
I
normal
enjoy
to
it, catching up with my mates, hanging out in their vans, having a few beers with them,
Yeah.
and seeing sort of specific things. But if I want to watch Ed Sheeran at Glastonbury, I'll watch it on the telly because it's much better.
Yeah.
Because like with the Sugar Babes, man, they were all round in this tent. There was, I don't know, it was an open-sided tent. It was packed out. I sort of got quite close to the tent. I thought I didn't even really want to go in that tent. Man, with the COVID and stuff still, the tent was like packed right out, like this. You know, can't really even drink. I was like, I'm happy to stand outside.
I'm like that in life.
Yeah,
I can't be bothered. That's what I was just saying to you just now in Devon on holiday. The kids were still at school. It was perfect. Everything was nice and quiet.
Quite chilled. Like,
yeah.
So Glastonbury for me, I just go and socialise, hang out with my mates, and then when I get home, I watch the big acts on TV that I might have enjoyed if I'd gone to. You know, and it's like that. Evan, a lot of my friends are all this. We've been there. I'm 49. I think I've probably been to like 20 or 30 Glastonburys, something like that.
Yeah,
you know.
cool, man.
So I just go there and do my thing. I've got people I know there, and
you've had a fun life so far, eh?
Yeah, it's going well so far.
You're halfway because you should live till 100.
Oh, that'd be a result. I'm halfway. I'll probably be out of debt by the
You're
time
only
I get to
halfway. You
100.
better slow down. You'll have nothing else to do soon. I take it you missed out on the privilege of tea in the park.
I've never been to Tea in the Park.
Yeah.
Is that
Because
one in
it's now
Scotland?
they've shut it. They're
that
never
the
doing it
Scottish
again.
one?
Yeah.
I think I might have been to it.
Like it legendary for
I
the
did.
Scots.
I did do it one year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did
I was a
manage,
footballer on stilts at Tea in the Park.
Oh, cool.
So we played football on stilts. There's me on stilts, being the footballer, a referee on stilts, and we've got a giant football. And if you're at Tea in the Park, you'll probably remember us. And we go around, I kick the ball to like punters, and they kick it back, and then someone picks it up, and the referee's red card, handball, you know. And I've done that all around the world, actually. It's a great gig, man. Yeah, I did that for Cirque Bijou, and we went to Dubai, and we did Tea in the Park one year as well.
Ah, nice one, yeah. We
got
performed
the plane
at Tea
up
in
to
the Park,
somewhere.
Right. Well, my mate, Madta, he was one of Scotland's most known rappers at the time. And so through BBC introducing, we got to perform at Tea in the Park and stuff. So I basically hyped him, you know.
Whereabouts in Scotland is it? Is it near Glasgow?
It was up in Fife. I'm pretty sure it's up in Fife over the bridge from Edinburgh.
I think we flew. I can't remember how we got.
I'm sure
there.
it's pretty much up in Fife. Yeah.
I think we flew.
I've been like 2 or 3 times, and
we did a big festival up in Scotland.
You get on the bus and you just drink there. You don't really pay attention where you're going.
It was about 5 pints away. Yeah.
Yeah. Or one time we just like got a whole bottle of Jack Daniels and diluted it into Coca-Cola bottles and had multiple Coca-Cola and Jack Daniels.
Nice, man. Yeah, ready to go.
We were like, we were in a mess by the time we even got there. Yeah, quality, cool. What else was I going to say about your book? Can you get your book, your surf stories, online or anything?
It's called Surf Stories from the Board Rack. It's a collection of 10 short stories. They're about a little boy. When he goes to bed, he asks his dad for a story about one of the surfboards in his dad's surfboard rack. And each story teaches like a different sort of moral or bit of water safety.
Cool.
I wrote them whilst I was travelling in Indonesia when I went over there to surf some bigger waves. I did my beach lifeguard training and I was a surf instructor. And so they're sort of like based on true sort of events or a little bit of truth in each story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think they're on There's an ebook. You can buy it as an ebook. I can't remember what the site's called, but I've got some hard copies. You can get them on. If anyone wants to get a copy, they can contact me through Instagram, which is just Merlin_Cadogan, and message me and I'll send you a book. They're like £5.
And how do you spell your last name first?
CADOGAN.
Yeah,
Merlin
perfect.
Cadogan, yeah. And they're nice stories. Like, I mean, people all around the world read them, and I get messages back from people in Australia saying, my kid doesn't like reading, and this is the only subject that they've actually got into.
It sounds really good, yeah. And sort of educational as well in a bit.
It is a bit educational because it's like all
has
the
a bit of a
lifeguarding
moral
stuff's
behind
in there.
it. Yeah, stories.
All the lifeguarding sort of stuff's true in there. And then like all the sort of procedures you need to follow in certain eventualities are all in there. But the stories all leave you with a nice warm glow in your heart. You know, they're sort of like nice sort of stories to read to kids at bedtime. There's a little picture with each one. I wrote them like over quite a few years and never did anything with them. And then I was like, I spoke to someone and they said, do we need to get each story into the same format, you know? So they all start the same and end the same. So I sort of did that, and then I showed a couple of stories to a few people. Like, these are really nice stories. And then some of them are really good, and some of the other ones they're not like my favourite, but
You're
they're
a bit of a
nice.
writer, eh?
Yeah,
Because you've done your book and you've wrote the odd track, the odd song.
I've written a couple of songs now, and I've written like a couple of other books, because when I did that short book of short stories, I thought, man, I'd like to like write a longer story. And I started to write it, but I found it difficult with the linking of like one section of the long story into the next.
Yeah.
So I've like put that on hold, and I've sort of like need to learn a bit more about the craft of writing. Whereas with short stories, it's a bit easier because you get into the story and then it finishes and then you start afresh. Whereas a longer story, it's linking the parts together.
I'd imagine,
really.
trying to also just trying to fill a whole book rather than a short story must be quite hard. But
I think I just
I've
need to be a bit of a better
before.
writer. I need to like the art of writing. I need to study a bit better to write this long book. But I've got it written out, and I've written it. I'm just not happy with how it is yet. So I need to like. I think
if people Google your book, would they find it if they type it into Google?
Yeah, Surf Stories from the Board Rack.
Yeah, Surf Stories from the Board Rack.
Yeah,
by Merlin Cadogan.
That's it. Yeah, and they're nice stories, man. If you've got kids who like surfing or like the beach, they'll love it, and it help them with their reading. You know, it's like they're not too difficult to read, but when they finish, like you know, you will have a tear in your eye on some of the stories, man. They're nice stories, you know.
And it's a good. I think a lot of listeners. You think what sort of listeners are listening or watching the podcast, and in life you'll find that people have kids, so go get the book.
You'll like it. The thing is, like I self-published the book myself, so I wanted to try and get like a publishing deal, because I've got a lot of other stories, and I've written like this one big sort of book which I haven't published yet, but I need to work on. But I've got a couple of other short stories now about surfing that I've written,
cool.
But I haven't put them in that book yet, so I could add a couple more stories or maybe write another book. But there's so many things I'm trying to write. You've only got a limited amount of time, and it's literally just one of the options has got to be complete that, because you end up with all these things that are half done and nothing ever gets done.
It's like people doing music. They work on something. They start working on an album, and then they start working on a different thing with another producer, and then I forgot all about that one. And
that's where I'm at. So I'm focusing it all. I got that book done, started this long book, and got sort of like through it quite far, and then I've written a couple more short stories about surfing. So I need to make up my mind what I'm going to focus on, get that next thing done, whatever it's going to be. So
cool. Nice.
Surf Stories from the Board Rack. It's a nice little book of short stories, 10 short stories. You'll enjoy it if you read it.
Nice.
Thanks, man.
You're multi-talented, really. I mean, skating, surfing, juggling, writing, songwriting. And he pulled up on a nice Kawasaki motorbike.
Which I'll just be about to pay for by the end of this month. And I've just cleared it all off because I bought it. Half of it was on a bit of credit. So I bought that on my credit card, and I'm just about to clear that off this month. So I'm feeling really good.
Feels good to get that.
It's gonna be good.
Payments out the way.
Happy days, mate. Yeah.
Buy more beer. Is that just me that thinks that way? I don't know. Right, cool. I think we've kind of covered part 2.
Brilliant.
We're not going to go too in depth, and covered what led you into what you're interested in and what it means to you, and the reasons you sort of do everything. Spoke a bit about your book, so
cool.
We could just move on to the next break, which hopefully we'll have a second track
right on
from the Clashnikovs with a C. and we'll find out all the track details and everything will be on the screen if it's available to download or not, or where it might be available, etc.
Cool.
And we'll be back with you in just a minute.
Nice.
Right, so that's us back, guys. Hope you enjoyed that last track there from the Clashnikovs, and all the details should have been on the screen, track name, etc. And we're going to get on with the last part, which is based on we've chatted a lot about all sorts already, but like your accomplishments that you're really sort of proud of in your life, sort of from a young age to now. What you're sort of focused on and working on just now, and any sort of things you'd like to do in the future, maybe. Starting off, sort of things you're proud that you've accomplished.
The best thing I ever did was a 30-meter free dive. That was pretty cool, man.
30-meter free dive?
Yeah. Oh. So just breathe in, dive down 30 meters, swim up 30 meters, breathe out. That was good.
Yeah.
I did that when I was training for Britain's Got Talent.
Ah, yeah.
And I was in Egypt, and when I was on Britain's Got Talent, when I got to the semi-final, they said, you got like 4 months. What do you want to do in the semi-final? So I was going to do this escape inside this tank of water, and the tank is 2 meters high and 1 meter wide, like a tube, like a cylinder. And so I practiced my breath holding. 4 minutes 20 was my longest breath hold. I got really good at that, and I got the world record for picking handcuffs. So I was like, right, I'm going to do this.
World record for picking handcuffs.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
there must be someone in Scotland that can try and compete against you. Mind you, probably not picking them, just how often they've had them on.
So I got this trick together where I was going to do this underwater escape stunt, picking these handcuffs in this tank of water in full view. It's no trickery, like a proper escape, and I practiced it. I got really good at it. And then a few weeks before I was on the show, they said, you can't do it because the water weighs 2 tons. And the stage on the Britain's Got Talent show was glass. So the weight of the water could have damaged the stage, and the water could have broke all the electrics under the stage. So I couldn't do it in the end. So I did a straitjacket escape on a burning rope, which I just literally did in my motorbike trousers and banged it out, and that was fine. But I was training for this underwater escape stunt for like quite a few months.
Yeah.
And I ended up in Egypt with Sarah Campbell, who is the British freediving world record holder. Did a course with her. And did a couple of days free diving, did a 30-meter free dive, and that was awesome, man.
Yeah.
Because when you do your underwater paddy course, 30 meters is like as deep as you're allowed to go.
Right.
With a breathing kit, like with scuba kit. So I was down there with all these in the blue hole in the Dahab in Egypt, which is awesome freediving spot, man. It was like I was down there with all these people with scuba kit going by, so I was going, hey, and they're going, Jesus, man, like, he's got no kit. So it was really funny.
No, not knowing your history, people just like, that guy's like, is that Aquaman?
Yeah, so it was good. So that was probably one of my best accomplishments. I've got 2 Guinness World Records, one for picking the most handcuffs in under a minute, and one for juggling with 3 balls underwater the longest as well.
Cool. So you're in the Guinness Book of Records for
Yeah,
them?
I can't remember. It's probably been beaten now, but I was in there. Both entries were in there, yeah.
Ah, cool.
So that was good,
Yeah. What sort of years was that around? Well,
2009 or 10,
Yeah, that was around when you were on Britain's Got Talent. Because we've not spoke much about that you were on
I was on there in
Britain's...
2009, got to the semi-finals.
Yeah.
I reckon I would have got to the final if I could have done the trick that I was preparing for.
Yeah.
It was still really good fun. I really enjoyed it, and all the crew were brilliant and everything. So.
How long were you on the show for? How long was that?
It's like in that one season, I got like you do like your opening audition, then you do like the your act, then the semi-final. So it's just that 1 year. Like I got to the semi-final, so it was really good.
A few months on the show, though, eh? A couple of months. It lasts for a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, they filmed it in like I think it was kind of like January, and then the show aired in like July and August. So from when you first get involved with the guys, if you get to the end, it's like six months of sort of different stuff.
Yeah.
So that was really good.
That must have been fun. What made you make the step to do Britain's Got Talent?
I just sort of I did this I escaped from 10 meters of chain and juggle fire holding my breath underwater, and so that's the stunt that I did on Britain's Got Talent for the first round, and then I did the straitjacket escape.
But what actually made you decide I want to go on Britain's Got Talent?
My ex-wife said to me, you should go on Britain's Got Talent and do that underwater helmet escape stunt.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I'd never performed it before anywhere, and so I said, yeah, all right. So I ended up just getting it together and doing that.
Yeah. And it went pretty well.
It went really well, yeah. But I ended up, a friend of mine called Tef helped me out on the TV, and literally she'd never done it before. We'd practiced it the night before. We did it in the morning of the TV audition at my mum's house in Bristol in the snow in the garden. Then we did it live in the afternoon on the stage, and she had all the lines I'd written for her written on her hand. She was brilliant, like really great. We got through. So then we did the semi-final. Yeah, she was great, man. Yeah,
it's amazing, when you do something like that in your life. It's something you'll always remember,
Yeah, it was really good.
Help you with your shows you do as well. It's an extra sort of mark on your name.
Yeah, really. For sure. But it like stepped
attract
up a little bit.
People to come to your shows.
But the only bad thing of it was like after I finished the show, you have to sign this sort of disclaimer that you'll only work for Simon Cowell's agency, which is called Psycho, for like 6 months. And then my phone was ringing off the hook, and I was giving the Psycho agency's number to all these people that are prospective booking me, and not getting any bookings. And then one person phoned up, and they owned a holiday park near where I live in Devon, and they'd had a TV show come in and like refurbish this holiday park, and they wanted to book me to do the opening act of their opening night of the refurb. So I gave them the number of this agency and didn't hear anything again. I thought, what's going on, So I phoned up the number back, and I said, hi, it's Merlin here. You spoke to me about using me to do your relaunch for your holiday park, which I'm more than happy. I haven't heard anything about it. What's going on? They said, we contacted the agency. They wanted like $5,000 for like a 20-minute show.
Right.
And I was like, no way. So literally this agency were just pricing me out of all the work that was coming in, because they were so busy with people that made it to the final, they didn't have enough manpower to book me out. So they were just quoting these fees that were never
so that people didn't take it.
Yeah, because they didn't have. And then after the 6 months had finished, the agency contacted, so we don't really need you to stay with us anymore. So I was like, brilliant, thank you. As soon as that finished, bam, I was getting booked. I was on Blue Peter twice, on Magic Numbers, where I got that world record for picking the hang-offs. But that 6 months after the Britain's Got Talent show was the time when that was like the moment to go. And I was held back by this agency just outpricing me for all these things because they didn't have enough manpower to deal with it.
Typical industry issues, isn't it?
It's a shame, if they had a backup agency to deal with the semi-finalists, that would have been a lot better for me. I'd had so many interesting jobs come in.
There was really no point in doing that if they weren't going to get you any work.
No, but maybe they've changed it since then, because that was in 2009. It's 2022
I can see why as well,
now,
though.
so
they're not wanting everyone going, I've just been on Britain's Got Talent. They want to be put in the
just the big ones,
Got Talent.
So I mean, 13 years later, but I mean, I got to the semi-final and I had a really unusual. There hadn't been anyone doing what I did before, So I had so many people phoning me up, and I never sort of worked behind the agency's back. I always passed their number, and I was getting no bookings. Luckily, I'd already had bookings for that season before I went on the show anyway. But that one thing there was the only thing which I sort of like was a bit of a gripe for me, man. I could have had like a load of really cool gigs come in, but they just priced them so high that because they just couldn't have enough manpower to physically deal with it, So that was a shame. The Britain's Got Talent experience was really great. And all of the judges were brilliant, and all the crew who worked
there. Did you get to speak to the judges and that much throughout the whole thing?
I did actually. Yeah,
were they quite
really
friendly?
They were proper good. You get that. You obviously, like, if you get through to sort of a certain stage, you have a bit of dealings with them. You see them in like in the building when you rehearsals. Like, I mean, some of the acts, like when I was on Britain's Got Talent, there was a guy called DJ Talent.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. He had like 20 backing dancers, a gold throne on wheels. They spent a load of money on choreography, on costumes. They put a lot into him, When I was on there, I had no choreography, nothing. I wore my motorbike trousers for my costume. Literally. So it's not a very level playing field.
DJ Talent. I wouldn't want to put him down, but it was quite simple what he was doing, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was a really great guy. Like, I mean, we became good friends. And I've still got his number in my phone now. He had all this production behind him. And people used to laugh at him. Like when I was on the show, like some of the acts, like, DJ Talent guy, they would belittle him, right? And he was like brilliant, man. He did like his rapping.
Really entertaining.
Yeah, he was a good guy,
yeah.
you know, and he was a really genuine, likable guy. There was no fakeness, you know. A lot of the people on
But
there.
sometimes they pump a lot of money into.
Yeah.
It was a bit like Honey G.
Oh
G.
yeah, that's right.
She got a lot of money pumped into her too, didn't she?
Yeah. But I mean, the DJ Talent, he was a really nice guy, and people put him down, and I would like, people would like bow mouth him, and I would never bow mouth anyone.
Yeah, I wasn't meaning to put him down. That's why
No,
I said
no,
it's
yeah.
that. But I had the impression that he got a bit of that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did, man.
Yeah.
He definitely did. But real nice guy, and fair play to him. You know, made the best of what he had, which is all you can do.
Yeah.
But it isn't a very level playing field. So if anyone out there is thinking of getting on Britain's Got Talent or another show like that, the thing to take from it is it's not really a talent show where they try and discover new talent. It's an entertainment program.
Yeah.
And they try to make it entertaining. So you see some people on there who are really bad that they put on there so people could laugh at them, and there's other people that are really good that they come there. They try and make them look a bit weird or a bit geeky or whatever,
And
then they like
extend it as much as they can.
They really emphasize on that part of that thing, you know.
A lot of people criticise the programme for that part of the programme where they belittle people, and
you got like Sue Boyle. They paint this sort of like picture of her being like really geeky, awkward
Susan
looking.
Boyle.
You know, she was on my year, and I mean, I had
Was
breakfast.
she on your year
she
too?
was lovely, man. What a lovely, nice, sweet lady. She's a little bit crazy, you know. We all are.
I think does she not have some issues a wee bit? Is she not?
I think so.
Autistic,
I
maybe,
think
or
she's
something.
Maybe a bit on the spectrum, like. You know, I think most people probably
Again,
are.
I'm no reason to think that, but
yeah.
the rumours and stuff, and she was Scottish too.
She was,
yeah.
And she's lovely, a really nice lady, you know, like proper nice lady.
But amazing singer,
awesome singer as well. They have to make like a little backstory about everything. So that's sort of like. So if you're thinking of going on the show, like on Britain's Got Talent or any other sort of thing like that, you know, just be yourself and be genuine. And if they say, "Oh, be like this, be like that," just be like how you are. And if people like you, they like you. And if they don't like you, you've only been yourself. You haven't like. I always try and just be me, and do my thing. And you know, like I got asked to go on France's Got Talent.
Ah, cool.
I went on France's Got Talent.
Did you go on?
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
I said I'm only coming if I can bring my mum, because my mum's a retired French teacher.
Ah.
So me and my girlfriend and my mum went over to this France. Right. My mum is the worst passenger in a car. She's in the passenger seat in the front. She's slamming the brakes all the time, right? We get to France, get out of the airport. This taxi driver picks us up, and he's driving like a complete knob through this traffic. Right? My mum doesn't bat an eyelid. She's just jabbering away in French. I'm sat in the back thinking, "Oh my God, no!" We get like, "How come you never moaned about his driving?" She's, we're in France."
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, me and my
Professional
missus
crazy
were like,
drivers.
"No!" But no, we went on. David Ginola was that, you know, we got like the people on Britain's Got Talent.
Well.
Yeah, he's a footballer.
Oh, right,
He was like,
yeah.
He's like the
I'm not mad into football, but yeah.
He's like the Anton Deck of Britain's Got Talent. He's on France's Got Talent. David Ginola.
Ah.
So my mum was made up because she got to meet him backstage, so that was like she was happy then.
Cool. I take it you must have met Anton Deck as well.
Yeah, a few times.
Well, obviously on stage.
Yeah,
but,
they're lovely guys as well.
Yeah.
But I didn't get through the audition on France's Got Talent because I did my underwater escape trick, and the paddling pool that I used to catch the water when I popped the seal was an Angry Birds paddling pool, just because that was what I could find.
Oh, right.
So they go, "Well, you don't understand why you have the Angry Birds." And I was like, right, if you're focusing on the pictures on the paddling pool, you've kind of missed the act. It's not really about the paddling pool. We don't understand. I was like, don't worry about it.
I was dead happy to see, because I'm not a massive fan of Anton Deck, but I think they're funny.
Yeah,
and
they're
I've
great.
always watched their programmes, and also like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Oh,
and all
yeah,
that
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
And my missus is a big fan of watching their stuff, and so I watch it, and I'm nothing against them. But I was actually quite happy when Ant got in trouble with that car crash thing.
Oh yeah.
But he came back.
Yeah.
And I was saying to my wife, with the industry and everything, I was like, that could be him done.
For sure,
and I was like, I don't know what they're going to do with just Ant on his Deck on his own.
Yeah.
And I thought,
nah.
And I'm quite into like what the industry don't tell us all. So I'm thinking, is there a reason why they're trying to ruin him?
Right.
Like, are they is this their excuse to push him out? Has he
I
been a
see,
problem?
yeah.
And when he came back, I was like, oh, it's nice to see he's back. So he's got his career back, and
good on him,
I thought they were bullying him. Something was happening in the media,
I know,
and they were trying to.
That was their way of
This will be our way to get rid of him.
Yeah, no, I'm glad he's back as well. They're a great double act.
I thought, oh, great, they've not ruined him and got rid of him.
No.
And he was very apologetic and everything.
Yeah.
I think he was just a bit silly, wasn't he?
Mate, we've all done silly things in our life, God.
Yeah, I know, totally.
Yeah.
And somebody in the spotlight does something wrong,
Yeah.
and everyone's in the pub going, I can't believe he did that. What did you do last week? Yeah, but I'm not on TV.
No, that's right, yeah, man.
So
it's
you can
easy
do
to
whatever
judge,
you
isn't
want,
it?
and he can't do anything.
People are quick to judge, man.
I know.
You should just look at how you are, like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so that's what I mean. A lot of people were like, yeah, but he got in his car drunk, nearly hurt these people.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know, but what have you done, mate?
Yeah, I'm
like,
sure no one's got. I mean, like, I know I don't drink and drive, but I mean, people do whatever. I mean, I'm sure I do things that aren't acceptable as well. Some people, you know.
And you're younger, you might have done something, and everybody's the same.
Yeah, you live and learn, didn't you? You know, you get better, and that's everyone gets better.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just sort of, I don't know, like with all this sort of, all that sort of thing, like you were saying, when you got someone famous and then they do something and it can be used as a bit of an excuse to get rid of them. I was glad when he made it back as well. I think he's a genuinely nice guy. He's been through a tough time in his personal life.
I know,
You know, and,
with his wife, problems with his marriage, and
that's it.
And addiction to pills.
Some sort of thing like that, you know, with addiction.
It wasn't like drug addict. It was like sleeping pills or something that helping him sleep, but he ended up having a problem.
Man, it's easy to happen. If it can happen to someone like that, it can happen to anyone. You know, and everyone deserves a second chance as well. And fair play to him, you know, like he's sort of like seen what's done, put his hand up, moved on. So it's good that he's there, and you know, and people will see that as well, you know, like like people like Tyson Fury as well, the boxer, you know, such a good role model for people. We like heavyweight champion of the world, you know, suffers from depression, got involved in some bad stuff, you know, people wrote him off, and then one day just like, man, that's it, I'm going to come back, I'm going to be world champion, and people are laughing, man, you're never going to make it. And he's you watch me then, buddy, here I come, you know, and
like, also like all different walks of life too. My dad taught me that let people do what they want to do. Like if someone's into something, they're into that. If someone lives their life that way, that's how they live their life. So you get a lot of people that sort of hate on travellers and stuff too. So when Tyson Fury made it big, you got a lot of people hating because he was like from the travelling community. And I felt like, what do you know about his community?
That's right.
Who cares? Like he's from this country.
Man, he's a good guy.
For the country.
And he puts a lot out there. He helps
start
people.
Picking on everybody from, he's from Scotland, or he's from the travelling community. But that guy's not the racer, like, or this guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Just forget about all that.
Yeah, you need to go beyond that and just see the person. Like he's got a heart of gold. You know, he's a champion of the people. And Tyson Fury, man, top guy. Full respect.
He's funny too. I like watching
his videos. He's really funny. Yeah, he's a real guy, isn't he? You know, he's not like trying to say the right thing and be really like PC and make everyone like him. He's like, this is what I do. This is who I am. If you like me, brilliant. If you don't like me, then just move along. I don't care. I'm not trying to win any friends. I
watched something. He was out for a run. It was maybe a YouTube thing, or it was on TV maybe. He's running with his dad, and they're out running. And the night before they're running, the camera guy must be running along too, and he's going, "Run! Look at this. Me and him were out drinking last night. I had about 8 pints. He had about blah blah. Look at us running in the morning." And I was going, God, I couldn't do that.
But he drinks a pint before his fight sometimes as well. Because that's an old traveller sort of tradition.
Right.
You know, like, have a pint before the fight. And you get all these sports nutritionists going, oh my God, you can't have a pint before the fight. The whole training's ruined. But, you know, he's like, mate, I'm beyond all that, dude. I'm like heavyweight champion of the world. Like, I train my own way. I do my own thing. And, you know, what works for one person won't work for another. You just got to tune into what your way is, and live also, your way.
They've trained themselves that way since 5 years old. Traveling community. So I mean, and since he was like 15, they've had a pint before a fight. So he's now 40. 40 or something.
That's it.
I don't think he even is 40.
Probably not 40
yet. He's about 35 maybe. And he's had a pint before every fight for the last 20 years.
Yeah, you're gonna stop now. As you know.
I know exactly. Well, cool. That's been interesting sort of chat about other stuff, really. I mean, we're kind of running out of time. Is there anything you're sort of focused on you'd like to get into in the future, or just carry on as you are doing your shows?
Trying to do more writing. I've just got a chainsaw to juggle. I'm just waiting for that to
Ah,
arrive
cool.
now, man. Yeah, I've just bought a chainsaw. I used to have a chainsaw that used to balance on my chin and juggle at the same time, but I've just bought a chainsaw for juggling now. So that's going to be the next sort of thing that I put in my show. I've shied away from it for quite a few years because I know a lot of people that do that, and I always try to do something a little bit different. But I thought, well, why not do a chainsaw juggle? So I've just ordered a chainsaw. Yeah, I'm sort of like enjoying my teaching and stuff like that, and going to try and keep the surfing going as well. Get into a
Working
bit
on
of
your
surfing.
other book as well. Your longer book.
My longer book. I've written like is it an autobiography? I've written an autobiography as well. I need to like trim it down and make it more readable. But I've written a list of all the crazy things that have happened in my life.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, you've covered a few of them.
Yeah.
Today as
well. So no, it's all good, man. Yeah.
Nice one. I was thinking something else there, but I think no, maybe it was just your book.
Right.
So we covered your book, so hopefully people can look at that. Oh, that's what I was just thinking. For anyone, I've got a lot of contacts in Scotland that'll probably watch. If anyone was interested in hiring you for an event or a gig or that, how would they contact you?
Just give me a shout on Instagram, really. It's
Yeah,
probably the best
yeah.
way, yeah. Merlin_Cadogan. Just give me a shout. I've done quite a lot of gigs up in Scotland. I love it up there, so I'm always up for it.
Your sort of work could be used at a music festival, an arts thing, all sorts.
Yeah, I've done like store openings up there. I do like comparing for venues. I do like a 45-minute cabaret show.
Cool.
I do some sort of business things where I like do sort of teaching different circus skills. So anything really like that, I'm up for it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can call it quits then.
Thank you very much, Pete. That was awesome.
Yeah, I always fist bump everyone.
Thank you,
fist
bro.
bump. Thanks
Thank
so
you,
much
man.
for coming on.
That's my pleasure.
It's
Thank
been
you
good.
for having me.
And thanks for everyone for watching. And we'll catch you again next time.
Thank you.
Remember to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button to make sure you don't miss out on any upcoming content.